Really nice. Love that. Slice the
Ooh.
legs from under it.
I was spinny.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. You are in for a huge treat today. We are in for a treat. We have some brand new wedges in store. Maybe the best looking wedges you'll see.
Premium, clean, flashy.
Yeah.
Could be flashier.
Your choice could be flashier. JP Camber. Many of you, and I'd actually maybe argue most of you, will not be familiar with the JP line of wedges. But those of you who have an ear to the ground in the custom wedge space will have heard of JP, James Patrick Harrington, actually a good friend of mine going back 12 years. I've known JP. He and I have kind of, well, certainly since he started his original line and I get into the golf industry here in North America, we've known each other that long. And it's really cool to see this line of wedges coming out where the masses are finally going to have a chance to experience what JP does with his wedges.
Yeah, always been boutique-y, almost that hard to get in a way.
Very one-off, very bespoke.
Yeah, one guy's doing the work, so the turnaround time's probably longer, and you could literally go custom. We just did a set for a customer, and it was custom as custom gets.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for that kind of thing, I mean, this is where you start.
Yeah, this is what's always been, I would argue, missing the JP Camber line, or a line that is easier to sort of put on an assembly line and get out in certainly not mass quantities, but be able to replicate it without JP having to be as hands-on. There's a lot of finishing work that's done by hand, but this line of wedges is certainly designed to be more in line with what you see from OEMs.
100%. 1025 carbon steel. The cool thing is, I mean, this might look familiar to some people from other brands that milling work, but this is a one-piece forged wedge, which is impressive. It also takes a lot of time, and those machines are expensive. So.
Very, very expensive. The sole is where it's at. The sole of the wedge is what's truly unique about what JP does. One thing you'll notice is the absence of a bounce number.
Correct.
Right, you get a bounce designation.
Right.
On the hosel, there's a 1 ring, 2 ring, 3 ring that's the system.
Yeah.
1 ring being low bounce, 2 being mid, 3 being high. Gap wedge and sand wedge only come in mid and high. The lob wedge is where the single ring, the lower bounce option comes in. But even when you examine the sole and the low bounce, you've still got this sort of slightly more rounded leading edge than a lot of companies will have.
100%. He talks about wanting to get the wedge in and out of the turf as fast as possible.
Absolutely.
And he talks a lot about, leading edge height in a wedge. So where that kind of roundness goes into the sole, that's where you get that from.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, we're going to run them through the full testing process, and we're actually going to tag team this when we're going to dive in and each do a little bit of testing, because this is part 1, and you will see in the second half of this video there's a part 2 where we are going to take these outdoors and we're going to experience it, because I think the thing with these wedges is the turf interaction has to be experienced.
100%.
Now, we have went through a meticulous process of planning to get the right turf in here that will give you the true sense from an indoor perspective. But you can't replicate the bunkers. You can't replicate the other shots around the green. I do truly feel like the tee line we use is very, very close to what you will feel if you're in a nicely manicured fairway. But outside of that, we're going to struggle to replicate those other scenarios,
For
Mikey
sure.
boy. All right, let's dive into the gap wedge. We'll each hit the gap wedge. We'll both get 54s because it's what we play.
Yep.
And we'll jump into 60 as well.
Love it. Okay, cool. Okay, Fries, 125 yards, 50-degree wedge here. These are shafted with Modus 120 stiffs.
Yep.
Kind of tried to build them to our specs as best as we could, and then they're right now 1 degree upright.
1 up. Okay.
Nice start.
Very solid.
Thing. First couple strikes. Any
Very
feedback?
solid.
Yeah.
Very, very solid indeed, Mikey. Yeah, no, I like them. Very round.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a lot of sort of that leading edge is, I think, you your leading edge straightened on your wedge?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's something that sticks out to me when I see it. Some people like it. I don't mind it when the higher lofted wedges.
Correct.
For me, I like that to be a progressive thing throughout. But yeah, head shape is certainly outside of that is nice. I mean, this is the mid bounce one, Mikey. I wouldn't want to go for mad delivery. I wouldn't want to go more bounce, therefore live steeper or lower in the head.
Right.
I feel like I'm already, that one there. Yeah, 11 millimeters at low.
Mm-hmm. Good strike. They sound great. They don't sound clicky by any means.
No. Yep, solid.
Really good.
Nice and solid.
Okay, Fries, 110 yards. You are in the 54 mid-bounce wedge. Again, right away, thoughts going from the 50-54. Shape's very similar?
Shape very similar, Mikey. Yep, no adjustment need to be made at all.
How's the offset on those?
Fine, yeah. No, I mean, it's non-existent.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Great strike.
Well, your angle of attack's a little on the steeper side as well, isn't it? I'm more thinking about, like, if I'm living kind of a bit low in the head, what's it going to be like if somebody who's really shallow is with them, you know? Better strike.
Yeah, really nice. 10,000 spin. Spinny, spinny.
Mm-hmm.
Great swing. Okay, Fries, into the shots where the money's made. The 50-yard shot, 60-degree wedge, low bounce.
I'm pretty happy with my choices on the first two. I mean, we've got them set over there, two or three ring in the gap in the sand. I'm definitely 2 in both those. I would not be high bounce. I would not want that strike any lower in the head. I don't want more resistance to the turf. But I've went straight to the 1 because I just think when opening it, I think you're going to need that. Be very interesting to sort of see how people get on with the sort of toe section being removed. You said it the other day, Nike Engage.
Nike Engage, yeah.
That's very much what that looks like.
Totally.
With the toe removed
toe
on that.
sweep or whatever it was called.
Yeah, toe sweep, yeah. All right, 50?
Yep. There's a saucy one.
Well, I had to change, so that's an interesting one, Mikey, because I think for people who spin it, right? So let's look at the difference there. So the spin went up to 91.
Yeah.
But I think what changed, if you go to table, for me, what changed the most was the angle of descent.
Okay.
To spin it more, you actually need the angle of descent to be compliant. So if we look at where the spin is, yeah, it was kind of 500 more than the first one.
Yeah.
But it was, I think it's the 3 degrees steeper land angle that gets the ball to deaden on bounce. That's what allows the spin to kick in. So if you want to be, you can hit it high spin and have it skipping in low and you'll stop it.
Right.
But you'll never spin it back if you need to. You have to have the angle of descent on side.
Cool. Lovely.
I'm a 1 bounce guy.
Very nice.
Okay, Maestro, your turn to choose. All right, Michael. So you've got the mid bounce 50.
Yep.
Let's take a little look at what you've got with it. Thoughts initial in the shape?
Yeah, I like it. Very little offset. It is definitely rounded, like you said. More of that like kind of spoon shape, but yeah, it looks good at address.
From behind, you get a sense of how much of a four-way camber it is.
Yeah.
So the camber is very much rolled toe to heel, very much front to back.
Makes sense.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Let's
Yeah.
move you back, big man. Long ball.
Yeah. Watch. He'll all be short now.
I know.
Oh.
Good.
You're not about to get away with it.
There is a bit of forgiveness there, though, isn't there?
Totally. Like I felt like, in that one especially, a thin little heely, and it's pin high.
Good. Okay. Happy?
Yeah, no, it feels great. I think the, you're right, our turf here is very close to a plush, really good fairway. I think the turf, the secret's in the dirt outside with these as well, just using that sole, but it feels really good.
All right, jump over and give me your choice on 54. All right, you've also went mid bounce.
Yeah, yeah, sits nice behind the ball. Kind of keep it consistent with the 50, but we'll see. Bit better.
Initially, I love the consistency.
Uh-huh.
Yours really, really good.
Yeah, standard deviation's tight across the board.
Really
It's
good,
nice.
isn't it? What are your thoughts on the 54?
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe I can start to see a slight like offset kick into it. It looks a little higher heeled, like from the bottom of the wedge to the top. It looks like it has more room, but it feels good. I think the consistency is the nice part. Like having that perimeter weighted wedge, there was a couple strikes in there where I was like, I think close to the hosel there, and I mean it's pin high, it doesn't put you in trouble. So is it shank proof? No, but I mean that perimeter weighting helps.
It does help. It does protect you a little bit. And I think once we get outside, we're going to really sample the sole in its full glory.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this out of like really lush, thick rough. Be interesting to see what it does through that.
Definitely. Okay, grab yourself a 60. Okay, Mikey's opted for the high bounce.
Yeah, something different.
See it?
See what's up, 50 yards.
It's your spot.
Oh, yesterday. Oh, yeah.
Maybe two more.
Doey. Wow.
One more. Okay, good. So go grab the low.
We'll get fit, folks.
We'll get fit.
We'll get fit.
So what was happening there, and it's interesting because I think we talk about bounce as in like, oh, more bounce, you'll strike it low in the head, high bounce. Low bounce, you'll strike it, high bounce, you'll strike it lower, opposites. What you were actually doing there, Mikey, was hitting behind it. You were getting so much bounce, the ball was literally levitating.
Yeah.
So you hit the ground, the mat acts like a spring.
Yeah.
Moves the ball up, and that's why you catch it high in the face. It's not like the ball stays on the ground.
Right, of course.
Right, so you instantly go into the low bounce, and the sound is immediately different.
I mean, the sound is immediately different, but the feel is night and day.
Look at that straight out the gates. How much spin difference, the flight difference just came out so nice and so low.
Huh.
Okay, a couple more just like that.
Whoops.
But even that one still looked like the first one.
Yeah.
I know you noticed the strike wasn't good.
Yeah, the flight wasn't different by any means.
The flight wasn't different.
Wee bit pulley.
Wee bit pulley.
This bounce, you can definitely feel like you'd have the ability to let it sit open or hit different shots with it.
Lovely. Lovely.
Out of all the wedge, like I know the wedges feel relatively the same, but the 60 is nice.
Open it up a wee bit more. Let's kind of get the try and get the strike a little more towards the heel. My Pro-V.
That thing's...
Go get it.
No, it's stuck.
You're wee stuck. Nice. Really nice. Loved that. Sliced the legs from under it.
That was spinny.
It's what we talked about earlier on with angle of descent.
Yeah.
43.8, exactly same as the one. So that's a carbon copy actually of that one I hit. One of the things I loved what you done there is when I'd asked you to line up in the heel, you typically hit most of your pitches in the toe. Most people do.
Yeah.
When you're cutting across it like that, out to in 4.5 and a little bit in the steep side, you can catch that dead one out the toe. You actually have to line it in the heel.
Yeah. Like I've got it.
You've got it sitting right in, right on the hosel there because you will draw the blade across it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Okay.
That was really, really nice there. Feels good, doesn't it?
I like them. Yeah, I like this low bounce 60 is nice.
Yeah. Okay, so we've ended up with the same wedges. I knew you always liked to copy me.
Shocker. You copy me.
Oh, they were lovely. We were both on the lower end options across the board. I think our delivery is fairly neutral. There'll be people out there who struggle with getting wedges, maybe go for a wedge fit or something, and they're taking some pretty big pellets.
Totally.
And they will love the sole sort of interaction from the 2 and the 3 ring wedges.
Yeah, like you said, that part 2 of the video for these, just to understand what these soles feel like through turf. I'm excited to get into long rough.
Yeah. I think once these wedges are out in the field, JP does have a sole sticker, very much like lye tape.
Yeah.
Right, but it kind of shows and indicates where the wear patterns are, front, back, toe, heel. We're obviously doing that today with GC Quad. That's one of the benefits of having Quad is dynamic lie angle, dynamic loft. We know how much the shaft's leaning forward. We know how the tilt of the head is, toe to heel. So we're able to sort of figure that out. We know where our interaction is there. But, for those who are fitting without that, the sole stickers are a really nice option.
100%.
Really nice.
Very cool.
Part 2 imminently coming your way, guys. Really keen to see how these do in the bunker, in the rough, and then the fairway. It'll be interesting to see if our choices change.
Yeah, very good.
All right, stay tuned for that, and we'll see you again soon.